Coming up tonight, we'll give you a look at Iowa State's open mic night.
And the owner of the Des Moines clothing store, RayGun, spoke with students.
And I'll give you all things Cyclone Sports, as well as an inside look on the first day of the Masters.
We'll have lots of sunshine in the near future. All more coming up in the show.
Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your night and week. Stay classy, Cyclones.
Good evening and welcome to this April 6th edition of Newswatch. I'm Mary Khan.
And I'm Courtney Dust. Thanks for joining us.
Many talented students came out to ISU's open mic night last night. ISU TV's Colton Lofton was there, and he has a preview of the performers.
On the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month, students line up outside the doors of the maintenance shop stage in the Memorial Unit. But they're not waiting for a concert. They're waiting for a time slot for themselves to perform. The Student Union Board at Iowa State hosts a bi-monthly open mic night at the Ames shop, open for any and all students to showcase their talents in a safe and open atmosphere, among other things.
Super fun, very positive, lighthearted, casual. Use any of those. It's great. You can walk on stage, tell a joke, and if it bombs, no one cares. It's just open mic night.
As students begin warming up, sub-performing arts director Kelly Corin notes her observations on the night.
Diverse. That's the biggest way that I can describe it. We've had music from different cultures, different comedians come, slam poets, but we've had everything, and that's probably the best way to describe it.
The open mic night brings out ISU's comedians, guitar players, comedic guitar players, and other performances.
Yeah, ladies, that was for you from the heart.
No matter what the performance is, open mic night is a free-spirited and encouraging environment for students to entertain their peers, as well as step out of their comfort zone, all free of charge.
I tell you, when I first started doing this, it was awful, and it didn't shake my confidence at all. I just kept on wanting to come back and do it again.
We like to make people laugh, and we like to make people feel welcome, so we would just want to see you here. The more people, the better.
And as for anybody who wants to give performing a shot,
I say just go for it. I mean, Nike said it best. Eat fresh. I mean, just do it, you know? That's what I did. I just did it, and I've been sticking with it ever since.
This is Colton Lofton for ISU TV.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. A campaign titled It's On Us is an awareness campaign supported by colleges across the country. The Iowa State Daily has been working on a series of stories called In This Together. On Tuesday, the Daily hosted a panel event with Daily reporter and sexual assault survivor J.C. Getzman, Student Government Vice President Cody Smith, and Stephanie Zimbrick, the Sexual Assault Response Team Coordinator for ISU Police. The panel discussed the issue of sexual assault on campus. Some advice that would help sexual assault survivors is to, as a friend, start by saying, "I believe you." Getzman said she wished more conversations about sexual assault would take place, but awareness campaigns like these do help. Smith said he thinks Iowa State should create a mandatory course about sexual assault and prevention. A required class would force students to be more involved and aware of sexual assault and how to handle the situation.
The police departments of both Ames and Iowa State continue to advocate for sexual violence awareness. Both departments were at an outreach event held at the park's library lawn yesterday afternoon. They parked 2 squad cars on the lawn and surrounded them with tiny white flags that read, "Decide to End Sexual Violence." Each flag represented a victim of sexual violence that was responded to by the Story County Sexual Assault Response Team in the last 4 years. The police are advocating as part of the Start by Believing campaign, which is a global initiative transforming the way we respond to sexual assault. To learn more, visit startbybelieving.org.
The Ames Police is asking for your help in identifying a suspect in a hit-and-run case from the end of March. According to a Facebook post from the Ames Police Department, the victim was within a crosswalk at Hayward and Chamberlain Street when he was struck by a car. The hit is assumed to have happened at around 2 in the morning on March 25th. According to the police, the car looked to be a gray Chevy Impala. The pedestrian did not suffer any life-threatening injuries and is looking to make a full recovery. Anyone with information regarding this case is encouraged to contact the Ames Police Department at 515-239-5133.
Out with the old and in with the new. Newly elected student government officials were sworn in at Wednesday night's student government meeting. They took their oath of office in the Campanile Room of the Memorial Union and then proceeded to vote members into the executive and committee leadership positions. And earlier today, Iowa State's new student body president, Cody West, was inaugurated. This is not a steep promotion for West, as he served as vice president for the 2016 to 2017 academic year.
Wednesday evening, the Iowa House had quite a debate with the outcome of a bill giving restrictions to abortions. The passing of the bill would ban abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy, as well as require a 3-day waiting period for women seeking abortions during any time of their pregnancy. The current bill includes changes that the Iowa Senate will vote on before it reaches Governor Terry Branstad. With a 55-41 vote, the House Democrats voted unanimously against legislation. The bill was amended to rid any criminal penalties, but would allow the Iowa Board of Medicine to penalize doctors who violate the law. Another amendment is that it would allow doctors to break the 20-week mark if the mother's life was endangered.
The owner of Des Moines clothing store RayGun gave a lecture to the Entrepreneur Club at ISU yesterday. Laurel Feeks was there, and she gives you a look inside.
Have you ever seen a t-shirt with blocky, sarcastic text? You probably have witnessed the work of RayGun. On Wednesday, the Entrepreneur Club invited RayGun owner Mike Draper to come and speak to students. Nolan Herlocker, president of the club, said that Draper is just one of many speakers to come to Iowa State.
With our club, we try to bring in a wide variety of speakers throughout the semester, so we appeal to a little bit of every major, and we get new faces in at each of our meetings.
Draper has become quite successful with his business, having stores in Kansas City, Iowa City, Des Moines, and Cedar Rapids. All of this started because of some t-shirts Draper sold in college.
I started RayGun when I graduated from college and had no hope of gaining real employment. So I started selling t-shirts, opened the store in 2005 in Des Moines, and it has steadily grown since then.
The wildly popular t-shirts can be seen everywhere in the Des Moines area, making quite the impression on residents of Iowa.
Impact, I think there was probably a lot more left-aligned block font in advertising in Des Moines because of us. We have, I would hope, kind of kick-started positive Des Moines slogans a little bit. We were, if not the first, one of the very earliest to get out and say, we really love Des Moines, although in kind of an ironic way.
For Newswatch, I'm Laurel Feeks.
On the scene and on the screen with
Chemical attack in Syria.
And a nuclear option that would change rules in the Senate. Learn more after the break. This is Newswatch. Welcome back from the break. President Donald Trump told some Congress members that he's considering military action in Syria in retaliation for the chemical attack that killed 80 people in northwestern Syria. Many are blaming the Syrian and Russian government for the attack, but the al-Assad regime hasn't had any involvement. The Russian government stated that the Air Force was aiming for a large terrorist ammunition depot, but has provided no evidence on this claim. Chemical warfare has been banned in combat since World War II and the ratification of the Geneva Protocol by 65 states. Breaking news, Donald Trump has declared airstrike on Syria.
A high school principal is out of a job after her students caught her in a lie. Student journalists at Pittsburgh High School were writing a profile on their soon-to-be new principal when they noticed some problems with her credentials. Amy Robertson claimed she earned her master and doctorate degrees at Cortland's University, but the students found no accredited institution by that name and no evidence that the school even exists. As a result of the incriminating investigation, Robertson resigned.
After Senate Democrats threatened and then successfully blocked the Supreme Court nomination of Neil Gorsuch, GOP lawmakers have triggered a nuclear option. The nuclear option would change the Senate rules and only require 51 votes instead of 60 to approve a Supreme Court judge. Since the death of the late Antonin Scalia in early 2016, Democrats and Republicans have been fighting over the majority control of the Supreme Court. Republicans are hoping that Gorsuch's addition to the council could help establish laws that satisfy a conservative agenda, while Democrats believe that the former Harvard classmate of Barack Obama is too far right and out of touch candidate.
It's now illegal to share this altered image of Vladimir Putin in Russia. The Russian Justice Ministry recently ruled it is extremist material. Distribution of the image comes with a 15-day prison sentence or a $53 fine. The depiction of Putin in makeup and against a rainbow background has been online since 2011, but it became widely popular in 2013 when it was used in protests against Russia's newly enacted gay propaganda law, which bans discussion of gay rights or relationships anywhere children could overhear.
A Swedish company has ushered in the dystopian workplace age of human cyborgs. Well, sort of. The Swedish startup company, Epicenter, has begun to allow their employees to be injected with microchips. The chips, which are a little larger than a grain of rice, would be injected into a worker's hand and operate like an employee access card. Employees would be able to open secure doors, use company printers, and buy office food by just sliding their hand over a touchpad. The CEO of Epicenter and co-founder, Patrick Mesteran, says that the new movement is all about convenience. The company even hosts monthly events where employees can be chipped for free.
For those of you out there who love their sleep, this job might be for you. French scientists are looking for participants to lie on their backs and do nothing for 2 whole months. They are paying around $17,000. The experiment from the researchers at the Institute for Space Medicine and Physiology in France want to test microgravity and recreate the weightlessness of the International Space Station. This may seem like a dream job, but lying down for 2 months may be more difficult than it sounds. Participants have to eat, bathe, and even go to the bathroom while lying down. Unfortunately, ladies, the researchers are looking for healthy, athletic, non-smoking men between the ages of 20 and 45. The next study runs from September to December of 2017. I definitely could lay down for 2 months. You don't even have to pay me. Zach, you're the only one here eligible for the position. Do you think you're going to apply?
Well, you know, it's very tempting. If you don't see me for 2 months, I guess you know exactly where I'm going to be at. But we're going to take a break here. After the break, I'll give you an insight on some Cyclone softball, some Cyclone track and field, and some Cyclone. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch. Back from the break, I'm Zach Williamson with your Cyclone Sports Update. The Iowa State men's golf team won the Seattle Red Hawk Invitational Tuesday afternoon in nail-biting fashion. The Invitational hosted 18 teams from around the country, and it all came down to the last hole. Freshman Tripp Kinney eagled the par 5 18th hole to seal a one-stroke victory over the second-place Northwestern Wildcats. The victory is their third of the season in a sport where wins are tough to come by. This is the first time the Cyclones have won 3 meets in a season in 20 years, dating back to the 1997 squad. 3 Cyclones finished in the top 15 in the Invitational, led by Tripp Kinney and Ruben Sanjaya, who tied for 5th place. The team will hit the links again April 15th in Iowa City for the Hawkeye Invitational. The Iowa State softball team dropped 2 very close games in a doubleheader to the Nebraska Cornhuskers Wednesday evening. The Cyclones out-hit the Huskers in the doubleheader, but couldn't quite finish them off in 5-3 and 2-1 losses. In the first game, Taylor Lewis accounted for 2 of the Cyclones' runs with an RBI double in the second game, and the Huskers were held to just 3 hits, but 2 of them were solo home runs, while Kelsey McFarland got the Cyclones' only run on the board with a 5th-inning RBI single. McFarland has had a terrific season for the Cyclones thus far, claiming a .413 batting average and making a solid case for a spot on the All-Big 12 team. Iowa State will look to bounce back against the 13th-ranked Baylor Bears April 7th in Waco, Texas. The Iowa State track and field team was able to find quite a bit of success at the Stanford Invitational this past weekend. The highlight came from the men's 4x400 team that finished first placed overall with a time of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The participants for the Cyclones 4x400 team were Derek Jones, Ben Kelly, Roshone Rumez, and James Dennison. Jones also finished 2nd place in the 400-meter hurdles to top off an excellent day on the track. Logan Schneider and Elijah Young also had strong outings for the Cyclones, competing in the men's 110-meter hurdles, finishing 4th and 6th respectively. The women's team was led by Bailey Rehe, who finished 3rd place in the javelin throw with a toss of 131 feet and 3 inches. Both teams will compete again this weekend in the Arizona Invites at Jim Click Shoutout and the Sun Angel Track Classic. Today kicked off the tradition unlike any other, the Masters. The Masters is one of the 4 major championships in professional golf and is played every year at the beautiful Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. This is the 84th year of the Masters, and through day 1, the historic green jacket is up for grabs. The feel-good story so far has come from 37-year-old William McGirt, who finds himself near the top of the standings with a score of 3 under in his first ever Masters appearance. Lefty veteran Phil Mickelson is near the top as well with a score of 1 under. With a Masters win, Mickelson would have 4 Master championships in his long, outstanding career. There's a lot of golf left to be played, but you can bet it will most certainly come down to the wire. That is all I have for you here at the Cyclone Sports Report. Sam, the sun was shining all day. Will we be seeing more of these warm days this weekend?
Yes, we will. Of course, our beloved friends, the clouds and moisture that were all over us the past week is now finally pushing into the Great Lakes region. We see the sunshine rolling in. All of more coming up on Newswatch. Back Iowa State students, as we look at the current conditions in Ames, it's currently 49 degrees outside, mainly clear skies. The wind's out of the north mainly. That'll be shifting out of the south and west as we go through the day tomorrow and on into the weekend as it will bring in that warm air. 55 currently over in North Platte. 50 up in Pierre as we look in the north central region, 52 in St. Louis with some clouds sticking around. But as we look statewide, we're mainly clear all across the state of Iowa. Like I showed you earlier, that storm system is moving into the Great Lakes region, bringing us with a lot of sunshine as we progress through the weekend. And here's how it forecasts as we go on through the rest of the overnight tonight. Some low clouds are possible, but mainly staying mostly clear. Tonight looks very calm outside. Could be a little chilly, though, as temperatures could be dropping into the low 30s. As we go through the day tomorrow, mainly clear once again. There could be some patchy clouds rolling through the vicinity of statewide, but nonetheless we'll see temperatures into the mid to upper 60s or mid to low 60s tomorrow. But Saturday is the picture perfect day. We notice at 8 a.m. mainly clear outside, and the high pressure will be dominating our region, bringing us temperatures into the low to mid 70s with some ample sunshine. But here are the watches and warnings, some flood warnings off into the south and east. Areas into Missouri, though, are dealing with some frost advisories down there as temperatures tonight will be into the low to mid 30s across the board. 34 over in Des Moines, 28 though up in Mason City, a bit chilly up there, 29 over in Waterloo. And here's how it's looking in Ames locally tonight, 31 degrees, mostly clear out there. Check out the stars, perfect night for that if you want to go star watching. Winds out of the south and west, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Statewide tomorrow, we will see a lot of sunshine all across the state. 66 over in Sioux City, a little bit more chilly off into eastern and central Iowa, but nonetheless, we're staying just above average. Our average temperature is 53 degrees. Locally in Ames tomorrow, I'm forecasting 61 for our high temperature, so enjoy it. Breezy outside, winds out of the south, bringing in that warm air from 5 to 15 miles an hour. And then here is the outlook as we go through with temperatures. 73 on Saturday, 73 on Sunday as well, but we do drop down as a cold front moves through on Monday and Tuesday. But here's the 7-day forecast. Like I noted earlier, we are staying mainly dry throughout the weekend. There is a thunderstorm potential late Sunday. We'll keep you posted on that. Some storms could be strong to severe. But as we go through the rest of the week, temperatures drop down to 55 on Tuesday, but a mainly quiet forecast. We'll keep you posted on Newswatch.
Welcome back to Newswatch. So we want to take a moment to give you a full update on the U.S.-Syria situation that's going on right now. The AP is reporting that the U.S. has launched 60 cruise missiles on Syrian government targets, and this is in retaliation for the Syrian government chemical attacks that happened earlier this week.
What will you be doing when you're 105? Well, British thrill seeker Jack Reynolds can tell you what he is doing. Reynolds appeared on Good Morning Britain as he took his Guinness World Record to be the oldest person to ride a roller coaster on his 105th birthday. In addition, Reynolds helped raise funds for an ambulance charity. This is Reynolds' second time setting a world record on his birthday. The first was the oldest person to receive their first tattoo on his 104th birthday.
The students at Oskaloosa High School got a surprise visit from actor Ashton Kutcher today. Since October, the Student Council has been working to raise pledges and money for the Native Fund, which is a nonprofit started by Iowa natives, Ashton Kutcher and Dallas Clark. The nonprofit organization donates to Iowans in need, such as veterans and victims of natural disasters. So when the Oskaloosa Student Council found out this program was Iowa-centered, they jumped at the opportunity. At every home basketball game, computers were set up for residents and students to donate money. They raised $4,000 and Kutcher came to thank them in person.
And finally, a horse and rider in California had a rough experience after a late evening visit to Taco Bell. They were returning from the Mexican fast food chain near downtown Riverside when the cover of a utility vault beneath the sidewalk collapsed under them. The horse ended up in a 5-foot deep hole. Emergency responders worked together to lift the horse back to the sidewalk with some help from authorities and the animal's owner. The horse avoided serious injuries in the incident, escaping with minor cuts to its legs.
Well, I think I know where I'm going after the show, but I think I'll go by car, not horse.
Yeah, I'm just glad that horse is okay. That looked pretty tragic.
Taco Bell's worth it, though.
It definitely is.
So stay tuned next Tuesday for more news, weather, and sports. And stay tuned later for another episode of Ames Tonight.
Have a great night, Ames, and as always, go Cyclones.